Petrine Primacy or the Primacy of St. Peter. What is the Primacy of St. Peter? Simply, it's the special leadership and guiding role that Jesus gave to St. Peter among the apostles, making him the foundation of the church. In other words, he is the leader amongst the apostles. A biblical analysis on the primacy of St. Peter. During the Last Supper, the disciples have a dispute as to whom was the greatest among themselves. But we see Jesus doesn't say that there is no leader, implying that there is a leader. Then Jesus speaks about servant leadership and that the apostles would sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Then Jesus says, "Simon, Simon, listen. Satan has demanded to sift you all, plural, but I have prayed for you, singular, that your own faith may not fail, and you, when once you have turned back, strengthen your brothers." We see that Jesus prays specifically for St. Peter's faith not to fail and commands him to strengthen the other apostles, uniquely designating Peter as the visible principle of unity and doctrinal unity in the church. In John 21, we see that Jesus asks St. Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?"
Do you love me? Then thank you very much.
Jesus then tells him to feed my lambs, tend my sheep, feed my sheep. This shows how Jesus gives St. Peter a special role to be a shepherd to his flock. Now let's move on to Matthew 16. Peter declares Jesus as the Messiah, Son of the living God, and Jesus answers, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven, and I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loosen on earth will be loosed in heaven." What does binding and loosing mean? It means Peter is given real authority to teach and govern Christ's church. To bind is to forbid, prohibit, or declare something not permitted. To loose is to permit, allow, and declare something lawful. So Peter has the authority to interpret God's law, making binding decisions to the community, settling doctrinal or moral disputes. The Eliakim typology. Who was Eliakim? He was appointed as the royal steward, prime minister-like role in the kingdom of Judah, a shepherd-like figure. And he is the Old Testament prefigurement of St. Peter. We see that Eliakim is given the key of the house of David, and St. Peter is given the key of the kingdom of heaven. And both of them have the power to bind and loose. The keys symbolized a continuing chief steward office which is also given to St. Peter. Eliakim is the king's steward, and St. Peter becomes Christ's steward on earth. The fishing net typology. Jesus says, "I will make you fishers of men," and in this sense, the fish are the men and the net becomes the church. Before the papacy is instituted, the net breaks, symbolizing disunity in the church. But then after Jesus has given the keys to St. Peter, the nets don't break. They remain strong even after a multitude of fish in it. Early church consensus on Petrine primacy. Many early church fathers like St. Clement of Alexandria, Tertullian, Pope St. Clement, Cyprian of Carthage, Ephraim the Syrian, and many more supported the primacy of St. Peter. God instituted the papacy to ensure that the church on earth had a shepherd to unite his flock. Thank you, and may God bless you.